I was going through my stuff after moving from out of state, and I came across one of my test scanners that I used in one of my advertisements. And I thought it was a nice chance to make a video going through some of the facts and things about the original scanner used in the TV show. Now, everybody knows it as the LED, the eye of the car, the eye of the silent, and more and more and more. But what is it actually? Oh, it's much more than that. So let's start from the bar. The light bar is made out of metal, and one of the things that probably nobody knows, or only a few know, is that it's V-shaped, and that was to follow the line of the hood of the car. So, in 4 seasons, 84 episodes, they had more than 20 cars, and the special effect department had to build them from scratch. So, they changed in design over the years, but pretty much they're all the same. So, they're originally made out of metal, kind of like this one. I use stainless steel because it's hard, because it's shiny, because it doesn't rust. Um, I personally build a few of these made out of thin, very thin metal, iron, and then I moved to aluminum. But it takes a lot of effort, and I prefer to just hand the work to professionals. And I also made them out of aluminum, like professionally made out of aluminum, and they were cool because they were light, kind of you know hard and resistant. But stainless steel works best for me now. These light bars have 8 halogen light bulbs. And in the show, they used 100-watt light bulbs. Now, I believe that at some point they switched to 55 watts, but this is what you find when you buy a scanner for a replica, for a real Knight Rider replica. You'll find mostly 55 watts because they're easily available. They don't drain as much energy as the 100 watts lights, and the difference between the two is really minimal. Now, during the show, they changed also the kind of light bulbs that they used. Here you have a broken, yeah, I had to replace it, H3, and this one is 55 watts. Yep. But they also used H1 light bulbs, which are longer. And that is especially in season 1. And these light bulbs share the same ground with the chassis of the light bar. The light bar has a plexiglass, red for kit and amber for car, at least in season 3. Season 1 had the red plexiglass as well, which I believe, honestly, in the show was Lexan, not plexiglass, but I'm not quite sure about that. And as you can see, it has 8 separate cells inside. And that is, of course, achieved with separators in between the cells. Normally, it's one like C profile piece, and of course, it's cut and welded in the middle, and then with all these sections separated. And then you have all these wires, as I said. Once you install the light bar on the car, it screws through some tabs on the chassis of the car so it shares the same ground of the car. And you have 8 wires that go to the main circuit. Now, once again, this was one of my test circuits. I went through several designs over the years. I mean, we're talking about 17 years. I've been doing scanners for 17 years. And I started with a simple circuit that probably many of you will remember. It was a cheap scanner found on eBay from JC Whitney. It was a simple design, not the best, but at that time for me it was pretty good. And of course, it only had tiny little bulbs inside because of the electronic. It was an electronic limitation, but I was able to hack it, modify it, and bring some power to it, so that it could light up halogen bulbs. And then I changed the design with a different kind of logic circuit, which was smoother in the movement, a little more components used, and yet I still didn't like it. I'm sorry for the autofocus. And now I moved to microprocessor, and the choice was because first of all the sleeker design, less components, less power use, that's for sure, and the possibility to include different light patterns without increasing the number of components. In this case, I'm using SMD technology, which it's faster than regular components, DIL components. It's better looking. It allows you to use less space. It brings a lot of advantages. And that's pretty much about it. I'm pretty sure that now all of you want to see the scanner in motion. But before that, I want to give a few measurements for those who want to try to build one for whatever reason that is. And like this one is about 21.5 inch long. It's about 2 inch deep, and it's, as I remember, it's 1.25. Come on, focus. Yeah, 1.25 inch in the tallest part. Now, as you can see here in my design, I used a little I don't want to call it rail, but flap to hold the plexiglass, and then on top I use a similar system but as a lid. So whenever I have the need to replace the lens, or to just remove it and clean the inside, all I do is I remove these 2 screws and I remove the lens. Now if I want to replace the light bulbs, all I do is I remove the 2 screws that hold the bulb, and that's it. Alright, so now it's the time to start it. And this is a scanner, which for some reason in this video it looks like it's kind of like pinkish, fuchsia in color maybe, but in real life it's really red. Let's see if I can capture that with another camera. And here I have different light patterns. Like this one is from the episode Soul Survivor. And this is from the intro, where the 2 side bulbs are actually burned out. This is from k.i.t.t when he is in love. Don't remember the episode at the moment. I'll add it later.
Boy, what I wouldn't give to have one of these.
And these are just random light patterns that customer usually like. These are single directions or directionals. This is a wigwag. Another wigwag. Emergency flasher. This is random. Totally random. And this is the regular scanning motion. But after 2 swoops, it stops for 30 seconds. And this is for car shows because honestly, when the car is not turned on, so there's no alternator recharging the battery, this thing turned on continuously would drain the battery in 30-40 minutes because of the amount of power that it sucks. Now, they also made them with LEDs. I'm not an extreme fan of it due to the authenticity, but I have to say that it does look good, and it's good on the battery. It can run for hours without killing it. But some of the customers like the authenticity, like me, and for them, I build the halogen ones. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm giving you a last look at the scanner.